The reason why he's looking at me right now is because I told him it was a blood choke.
Okay. We will come back to that in a little bit. When you were there, was Mr. Floyd able to speak?
That is correctly. He was speaking in a distress way.
And what kinds of things led you to believe he was distressed?
He was vocalizing it to the officer. He said, "My stomach hurt, I can't breathe, my head hurts, I want my mom," yeah, those are the things that he repeatedly said. He wanted to get out the car. He said he's sorry for what he did. He pleaded with my mans and told him, like, "I'm sorry, I shouldn't pretty much have to die."
And so did you feel like you could have walked closer from this vantage point on the curb?
I could have. I felt that way in a way, but it's a fear factor as well.
And at this time, so you had seen Officer Tao, and you had seen this officer in Exhibit 17
Correct.
on Mr. Floyd. Did you see any other officers at the scene at that time?
No, I did not.
All right. Were you, and so this in Exhibit 17 shows the vantage point you had, the view you had from where you were standing.
Correct. I only had that side view of the two officers and the shoulder length of George Floyd's head. Nothing else.
And when you were in this location, can you describe for the jurors what you saw about Mr. Floyd, how he appeared? Well, let me back up just for a second. You've used Mr. Floyd's name. Did you know him at the time?
I did not know Mr. Floyd at all. No real connection.
So you're using his name because you've learned since then who he is.
Correct. Can't go too many places without not knowing his name or seeing his face.
So when you're in this location, you first come up and you're seeing him. He's able to speak.
Correct.
Can you describe what you saw of Mr. Floyd's condition as time progressed here?
As time progressed, so when I first arrived on the scene, Mr. Floyd was vocalizing his sorriness and his pain and his distress that he was going through. The more that the knee was blocked on his neck and shimmies were going on, the more you seen Floyd fade away and slowly fade away, and like the fish in a bag, you seen his eyes slowly, pale out and again slowly roll to the back of his eyes. And he, so this is what I seen, this is what I heard, and that's how, what it was. Like, he was going through distress because of the knee, and he vocalized it that I can't breathe, I need to get up, and I'm sorry. And his eyes slowly rolled to the back of his head. You seen the blood coming out of his nose. You heard him tell him before he stopped speaking that my stomach hurts, and those most of the times is the last bowel movement of your life. So from there on, he was lifeless. He didn't move. He didn't speak. He didn't have no life in him no more on his body movements.